Hey, what's up? It's saintjhn. You're currently watching Hip Hop Guru.
My name is Alex. This is another episode of the Sit Down on the Hip Hop Guru, and today we have a very, very, very special guest in the building. saintjhn, how is your day going?
Good. My day's going good. I just wrapped up my tour. I'm excited. I can't wait to sleep.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So Toronto was the last stop of the tour?
Yeah. 5/5/2025. That was the date.
Yeah?
I'm only saying it because I didn't realize how much synchronicity is in those numbers. Like 5/5/25. There's 5 5s in the number 25. Look, I'm not a numerologist. I'm just like, this is all happening in real time. Because 25 divided by 5 is 5. And the date is 5/5/25. That's what wrapped the tour. I don't know what that means. I'm sure at some point it'll reveal itself. For right now, it just looks real cool.
No, it is cool, and it's crazy. It's like it's divine timing.
Yeah.
I love that. Before we start, I wanted to give you a special thank you, because the last time we did the interview, I was really nervous, but it gave me the courage and kind of trust in myself to be able to do this full time. And, you know, that conversation meant a lot to me. And, you know, I'm forever grateful for that.
Ah, man, I'm happy for you. I love that. Because we all get to borrow from one another. And sometimes we don't always get to tell the person we borrowed something from. So that's cool. If I could have helped with that, that's dope.
Because it was scary a little bit, because we were in the lobby of a hotel as well, right? So I was really nervous. And, you know, the conversation, it brought me really kind of trust in self, you know? But so to start it off, you know, you once said my greatest asset is the way I presented myself, and you're big in fashion. Talk to me about that and how kind of you've grown over time.
How I've grown over time in fashion? Well, my style keeps evolving because there's so much more I want to do and so much more I want to say. Fashion is like my second skin. My first skin is who I am in my core. Me and my rarest stripped down form. And it keeps evolving because I keep seeing versions of myself that I want to be, or things that excite me, or places that I want to go, or parts of me I want to highlight.
No, I love that. So in a world that often celebrates grind and glory, what does real happiness look like to you?
A bunch of people around you who love you, no matter where you are on a roller coaster. Sometimes the roller coaster's up, sometimes the roller coaster's down, sometimes the roller coaster's stuck. Happiness looks like the room is filled with people who are going to hug you, hold you, kiss you, and remember your greatest moments even when you're falling out the sky.
No, I love that. And that shows as well with you bring your family on tour all the time as well, right?
Yeah, I keep my people around me.
And that's probably just such a more of a full circle feeling, knowing that you have the people that you love around you at all times.
Yo, it's really important. You lose sight. I won't even say you like I'm speaking about somebody else. I would lose sight of what I'm doing this for, or why it means so much to me. I don't want to be at the center of the world, at the highest point, standing up with only space for one. That's not success for me. Success is to look to my right and see somebody I love, and look to my left and see somebody I love, and look over my shoulder and know that there's somebody I love. And that's cool, no matter where we are. In a bright room, in a dark lobby. And I don't know that I'm speaking from a place that's like luxurious. When I say luxurious, like if you've lived a little bit of a life, then it's a luxury to say something like that. I think maybe fundamentally I might have missed that. Like I didn't realize how much of a luxury it is. I didn't have I didn't have that growing up, and I had to find it to realize how valuable it is. So maybe it is a luxury, but it's not luxurious.
You know, it's funny because people think as you get more money, you become happy, but it's also like you could have the biggest house in the world, but the house could be empty, right?
Yeah. Money don't got nothing to do with happiness, but poverty definitely don't make you smile.
That's true. Makes you want it more.
Yeah. Money is just a resource. If you got all the money in the world, but you're by yourself and there's no one to spend the time with, or whoever you're willing to spend time with is time that you have to purchase. If you have to purchase people's time, so you have to barter for their affection, there's no happiness in that. There's no joy in knowing that the people around you don't love you for you. They only love you for the transactions you can provide. You need people. You need people who are going to show up, who just want to show up because they like the way you smell, they like the way you smile, they like the way you think. They're comfortable with your flaws. They still love your bad habits. You need that. I need that. That's important to me.
Absolutely, because like money, you can make it, you can lose it, but time you never get back.
Yeah, definitely. But if you are at home broke and you watching this from the projects, it just sounds like some fluffy shit that you heard somebody say in a leather jacket. But it's not. It's not false.
It's true.
You want to be rich and rich in love. You want both. You don't want to compromise either of them. I'm not telling you to be happy and be poor. But if you have to be rich and lonely or happy and live a middle of the road life, you'd probably be happier being happy in the middle of the road life than rich in solitude. Because prisons come in different sizes. Sometimes they're extra large. Sometimes they're mansion-sized prisons. Still a prison.
So you built your success brick by brick. Well, what kept you going when people told you no?
They had bad taste. I ain't trust them. I don't trust nobody with bad taste. If you don't have good enough taste to see the world the way that I see it, or fragments or fractions of the world the way I see it, I'm like, you don't got the answers. You don't got the vision I got. And if you don't have the vision I have, then that means it wasn't your responsibility to change the world. And if it was my responsibility to change the world, then why would I listen to you? If God whispered to me at night, and I woke up in the morning and told you the whisper I heard, and you told me the whisper was a lie, why would I listen to you? You didn't get the same message I got. Why would I trust you?
It's like you're only crazy until it works, and you're a genius as well.
Absolutely that.
No, that's amazing. So let's talk about your art a little bit. So your art moves like a frequency and turn into pain, beauty, and resilience. What's a moment of adversity that you're proud of overcoming?
Those are always difficult questions for me because I face them every day. There's always a small hurdle to jump over. I'm an entrepreneur, and I'm an entrepreneur in art. And because I'm an independent entrepreneur, there's always a fire to put out. There's always a no that you have to turn into a maybe. There's always a burning building that you got to save a baby. That rhymes. That wasn't intentional. Well, so that I'm not theoretical, really, this just happened. I just wrapped up tour. I just did a 24-city tour across 47 or 50 days on the road. And I was working through a bunch of internal problems. I was working through being sick. I was working through mismanagement of my tour. I was working through budgetary constraints. It's always an adversarial moment, and I still got on stage every night and delivered an hour and 20, an hour and 30-minute performance, bearing my soul. I always remember the goal. I always remember the goal.
What's your big goal?
Freedom. And part of that is by giving the people parts of me. That's my sacrifice. I'll share my story, my pains, and give you parts of me. In exchange, I would have earned my freedom. I feel like a gladiator fighting in the ring. I was just watching the new Gladiator movie with Denzel Washington. And I don't remember the quote, but there's something along the lines that you'd earn your freedom by fighting in this ring. Like a gladiator purchases their freedom. And I think an artist creates their freedom.
Absolutely. And you know that's something you've been talking about your whole career as well, trying to reach that freedom level. What do you think is what do you think is next in the next goal that you want to reach until that goal is hit?
I gotta paint on a bigger canvas. It won't just be music. It hasn't just been music. It's been music and fashion, but it has to be larger. The canvas has to be much larger. I gotta dream bigger.
Mm-hmm.
I have to dream way, way, way bigger. This was just the introductory phase of my dreams.
Mm-hmm.
I gotta go do things that you didn't even think I was ever gonna do.
Absolutely.
It wasn't even a part of the initial story.
That's one thing I love as you for you as a creative, because it doesn't just stop at music. It doesn't just stop at fashion. You know, you're very creative in the way your mind works, and you're able to go into all these different fields. And that's why also it's not an album, it's a collection, because you put the collection of your ideas together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You nailed it.
And a lot of people kind of think within the box, right? But you've always been like a major thinker, and a lot of people are not able to have that vision.
Yeah. I try not to blame anybody for thinking narrow. I think it's cool if you only have the ideas. If you only have 2 ideas, then you have an immense amount of focus.
Mm-hmm.
But I have 42 ideas.
Yeah.
And I have to figure out how to string all my 42 ideas together to sound like it's one idea.
Mm-hmm.
And you end up with a collection,
Mm-hmm.
because the ideas have all been sewn together, incredibly well threaded together and incredibly well curated. And it ends up producing the result of something that feels like a storyline. But the people that have 2 ideas, they sleep better at night. It's easier to accomplish 2 than 42.
Mm-hmm. Kind of tangible goals, you kind of hit them a little bit faster instead of being all over the place.
Yeah, I think so.
Mm-hmm. So that kind of, what was going through your mind back in the day when you were in that call center for Snuggies?
Ah, man. I knew that was a pit stop. I wasn't worried.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I've landed myself in so many places in my life that I didn't belong. And I've never been confused that I'm just making a pit stop. And it's just a part of the story.
Yeah. Because you knew that the goal and the path was always to be much bigger than that.
Well, the world was going to eventually have to see me. And if I don't hide myself, how are you going to pretend like you didn't see me?
Mm-hmm.
You couldn't hide this behind phone calls and a database and a receptionist job. You couldn't disguise me behind the vocals of the guy picking up the phone to answer for your Snuggie return. You couldn't. How long was that going to last for?
Mm-hmm.
If that happened, it would have been because I let it happen. I was never going to let it happen.
Mm-hmm. 100%. Is it true that they didn't give you even the thing you were selling?
I definitely ain't get no free Snuggie. Never.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I still don't got a Snuggie. I want my free Snuggie. Send me my joint and send me one for the whole family. I earned it.
Absolutely.
Yeah. It's probably got a different name now. At the time, Snuggie was revolutionary, a blanket with arms. I don't know what they're calling it now. Now they probably sell 4 zillion of them on Amazon, but I still want mine from Snuggie. And I want a red one, I want a blue one, and I want an amarillo one. Yeah, I said amarillo.
You know what's crazy? Because probably somebody back in the day saying, I spoke to this guy, and now I listen to his music, and people didn't believe them.
I wonder if anybody would recognize me from talking to me on the phone and selling Snuggies. That would be crazy. I'd be happy to meet somebody that I had to process a return for and is now at this show. That'd be sick.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
We gotta find that. 100%. So what's the scariest thing that like you haven't conquered yet on this journey?
I haven't thought about that question. What's the scariest thing that I haven't conquered? I don't know. I'm running headfirst into my dreams every day. I don't know. You put a blank canvas in front of me, you give me a microphone and ask me what my truths are. I say it. I haven't had to be naked on camera. That's probably a little scary.
Mm-hmm.
That's probably a little scary.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's probably a little spooky. Just going down that rabbit hole, I gotta imagine it doing like a sex scene in a movie
That would be because you're
It's
exposed.
nerve-wracking.
You're fully exposed. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a new level of intimacy. I haven't done that. I mean, I'm sure there's much more like lofty things I could think of, but I think a sex scene in a movie might spook me out just a little bit. But I'm doing it.
You're like I got my
going. What's up?
There you go.
Yeah.
Looping it back to the visuals, your visual for Body on Me was incredible. It kind of reminded me of like a Black Mirror episode. How the developing story was from you going from the kitchen, to it being like kind of, what was your idea with that and kind of the vision?
That wasn't my idea. That was Alex's idea, the director. So it was one of the first times in my creative life, my creative journey, that I sought after people that I thought were just so much better than me, and I wanted to get out of my own way. So it was a really deliberate process. So I went hunting for somebody that I thought was phenomenal, and my job was to get out of my way. That was the task. Find someone who was so incredible and then step aside and be the subject to their paintbrush. And I accomplished that. So that in and of itself was a success, because I'm an artist and I have my fingerprint and my impression on everything that I do. But I just wanted to be the soundtrack, and I just wanted to be the actor. I didn't want to be the director. I didn't want to forecast the visuals. I wanted to grow in a different medium, and sometimes growing means sitting in a corner and listening.
Absolutely. Was it the same director as well with the other videos as well?
Alex did Body on Me, Glitching, and Circles.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because I noticed there was a very constant theme, how each piece was like a different part of like a movie kind of thing put together.
Yeah. And the only thing that I did was I imposed a couple of things on Circles, but I still got out of my own way, and I let Alex see the world that I'd already sonically created with his own vision. When I found him, not like I found him in like a dumpster or nothing like that, but when I discovered his work, I reached out to him and I sent him festival season. And I said, you tell me what you love. I don't got a single here. I said, tell me what you love and we'll shoot what you love. Here's the whole body of work. Here's the whole collection. Let's just talk about what you love. I only want to work on what you love.
That's awesome.
So if it's only coming from the objective of loving something and caring about it so much, then the result will be the same. It'll be something we love and care about so much.
That's incredible too, because there's a lot of trust that goes into that, and you're giving such an honest spread of the collection of music, and saying that you can choose which one you want. I don't mind is a huge thing as well, because then it gives you a lot more trust that you can have this kind of ultimate feeling of this is what other people feel as well for the visual portion, because my vision won't be as good as a person that does visual stuff, and so
sure.
Kind of as a concept, yeah.
And to speak to that, I trusted my work that I created so much that it did not matter what we highlighted. I made an incredible collection of music that mattered to me, that I don't care what song you choose. What does it matter? They're all going to be exceptional. I already chose these. I've already filtered it to things that I love. I've taken my 17 favorite sneakers and told you to curate an outfit for me based on all of my favorite items. And you're incredible at your job. He's incredible. His taste level, his talent level is so exceptional. When I studied his work and paid attention, I realized he could do a lot with a little, and his imagination was his greatest resource. I was like, let's just lean into that.
That's incredible.
Man.
And you created the second portion of the collection before the first part?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah?
Yeah. The collection that hasn't come out yet, I made that before I made festival season.
Yeah? So what made you want to hold off on that part to release before or after this one?
It wasn't time yet.
Yeah? When do you feel that it's time to release?
I don't know. There's something instinctual about art and timing. I think an artist and a chef have a sensitive understanding of when it's ready and when the food is too cold.
I like that. So with when we were speaking last time, you said because your upbringing, the collection of this album was like a lot. It was you can't bend it to one genre or kind of stamp it on one genre. And as you were saying, you grew up on like soca, and then you grew up as well with hip hop as well. And this one was like rock, 808s, techno, soca, pop, R&B. It's like a roller coaster, like you were saying before, of like an experience. So you go from the top to the bottom, and you want to continue listening to it. And that's why I guess you also had it as festival season as the title.
Yeah.
Because it's like you're literally going through an experience of life from the beginning to the end. And then like the songs from I like my personal three were right at the end, because it went from, which you performed yesterday, fuck
being sad.
yeah, and then it's like a 3-part. Those 3 songs right there were my favorite on the collection.
Fuck being sad, I think Undecided, and then Real Hustler.
That one, and then there was one right before it.
Oh, Loneliness?
There's Loneliness as well, yeah.
Did I get the order right? I don't remember the last 3. I don't remember exactly the arrangement, but it's Fuck Being Sad, and yeah, it's something in that.
Was there a direction with putting those at that portion of the collection?
Well, festival season performs sonically like you're at a festival running from stage to stage every 3 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Erykah Badu gets off. Phil Collins goes on. Phil Collins goes off. DJ Snake comes on. DJ Snake is wrapping up. The Locks comes on.
That's awesome.
And at the end of every song, you have to run to the next stage to go see the next performer. So the festival, as it's ending, as the performance ends, it has to whittle down. It gets to a place where it gets really emotional and even more simple and even more clarified.
Mm-hmm.
The roller coaster has to come to a resting place. Even as it's the last thrill happens, it gets to a deeper place. And I didn't want to present those too early, because in a festival, in a performance, you want things to be emotive, but you want them to be optimistic and hopeful and grand. And as you're resolving, you want things to get narrow. You want the path to become more clear. At least that's the way that I curate performances. So as this performance concludes, you get Undecided and Real Fuck Being Sad, like poignant. I'm real clear on the purpose of the song. And Undecided, and then Real Hustler, and then we're out.
Mm-hmm. No, I love that, because like for me, a lot of people who listen to albums as well on shuffle, I think that should be some form of like kind of crime. You gotta listen to an album and it's sequencing the proper way it has to be listened to.
Mm-hmm.
And listening to this collection, I think that it separates it from all the other releases, because you put that thought and effort into releasing, and you're not forced to release. You take 4 years off and stuff like that, and putting something out to the world that you truly have such an emotional connection to, you can tell when it's released. And this is one of those projects that people will look back on the collection and remember that this is a point in history that was very pivotal for different people's lives.
Touche.
Mm-hmm. So your introduction to music was also not through family or anything. Like a lot of people say they have like a family member that was in music, but it was from your brother.
It was my brother, yeah. So he was in music. He wasn't successful. No, he just loved music, so he made music. So I borrowed from it. Like some people, their dad might be a violinist and they end up playing guitar.
Mm-hmm.
So my brother was a rapper, so I became a rapper. If he was a fisherman, you'd have been meeting a fisherman today.
Mm-hmm. Do you think that if your brother wasn't in love with music the way he was, that you would be in the same path you are now?
We'll never know. We will never know. That's a hypothetical we'll never be able to answer.
Mm-hmm.
I'm happy that in this life I don't got to answer that. In some alternate version of myself, he's a painter.
Mm-hmm.
And I became Picasso.
There you go. That was like in the song you said you got needs Picasso, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yes, sir. So the name Fake Tears from Popstar.
Yeah.
Explain that one.
That one's self-explanatory. And I won't do too much investigating on that because Let that happen when it's time for it to happen.
Mm-hmm.
But that one is a little bit more clarified. Fake Tales from a Pop Star.
Mm-hmm. I like the name. It's a good one.
Thank you.
Yeah. So I could ask you questions for hours. What was the best part of the tour so far? And you did Coachella. Congratulations on that.
Thank you so much. What was the best part of the tour? The ending. The ending, wrapping it up. No matter how beautiful the tour is, no matter how profound it is, and no matter what the feeling is, it's hard. It's challenging. You're on the road for 50 days, 24 cities. Sometimes you're doing 4 shows in a night. You get on stage at 9:30, get off stage at 11 o'clock, shower by 11:30, go do a meet and greet, complete the meet and greet by 12:30, go back to the bus, repack everything you'd unpacked. The bus leaves at 2 a.m. You're on a shaky bus across country headed to the next city. You get to the next city by 7 a.m. You unload the bus by 9 a.m. You wait for the doors to open up to the venue at 11 a.m. You go into the venue at 11 a.m. and you finish your setup and you do your sound check by 2 p.m. just to go pick out your outfit by 3 or 4 p.m. Hopefully you try to get a nap because you only slept for 4 hours. You're trying to vocal rest while doing interviews, while communicating to the rest of your team and managing your tour, even though you've hired a tour manager, but you are the name in the marquee lights. So you have to make sure that the impression is left and the way you see the world is felt, because people are showing up for you, not the people that you've paid to support you on this journey. You finally wrap all of that up, and maybe you have a smoothie by 5 p.m., just so your opener can go on at 7 p.m. and you can watch and listen just to make sure that everything is happening the way it's supposed to happen for you to go on at 9 p.m. and start the day again.
Mm-hmm.
It's an exhausting process.
It's crazy. And you know, God forbid you're late by 20 minutes and somebody gets mad and you're just like, you don't even understand the day I just went through.
And it's not their fault. It's not their responsibility.
Mm-hmm.
They're paying for the excitement. They're there for an experience, to be rewarded for the money that they've given to experience it live. What do they care about what you got to endure? Your job is to make it look pleasant.
Mm-hmm.
Your job is to smile through the pain. Your job is not necessarily to share the pain with them so it becomes their responsibility. They've come to let go. You got to absorb that.
Mm-hmm.
You're the preacher for the night. They've come to confess. You have to know what to do with the sins.
Mm-hmm. That's heavy. What was like the biggest like fan interaction moment that you'll always remember from this tour?
No, there's too many.
Yeah.
I couldn't narrow it down. I heard so many times that I've saved someone's life, and I never took it literal when I heard it. Like, yeah, you saved my life. I thought that was just something people said. And there were too many times on this tour when someone said, no, I was going to kill myself. So it's such a heavy thing to hear. It's such a surreal thing to know that the music that I've made and the choices that I've made to tell my truth sonically have been impactful enough that somebody's like, I didn't do it because I found you. You didn't say my name, but you were speaking directly to me.
That's one of the heaviest moments that you could even have, because the fact that your art was able to have such an impact to that level, you know, it really makes you stop for a second and really kind of appreciate it.
Whatever you think is important, bro, whatever matters to you, whatever reason you do it for, this is me talking to myself, whatever you do it for, make sure you continue to do it. There are more people listening. There are more people that need you than you even know.
Mm-hmm.
I started making music selfishly. I make music selfishly. I do it because I need to. It's cathartic to me. It makes me feel whole. It's my confessional. I didn't know people were listening.
And was that something that you found out recently, or was it a a while ago.
Every time I go on tour, I'm reminded of it. When I'm at home and I'm making music in my bedroom, nobody exists.
Mm-hmm.
It's all not an illusion. What is it called? It's all... I'm really searching for the word because damn, I'm sad I can't remember the word. But none of it is real. Nothing is real. It's all a simulation.
Yeah.
It's all a simulation. The grass outside my window is a simulation. The sun that rises and falls is a simulation. The Uber Eats driver is a simulation.
Mm-hmm.
The electricity it takes to power my recording studio is a simulation. The inspiration I put on a TV is a simulation. When a song comes out, when the numbers go up or don't move at all, it's a simulation.
Mm-hmm.
And when I get on the back of that tour bus and the tour starts in the first city and I arrive and I do the sound check, it's still a simulation. But when I walk out and I hear the screams for the first time, the simulation ends.
It's like the previous collection cover where you're on the bike riding off into the sunset.
It gets real.
Mm-hmm.
Those stories are real. Those people crying in the front row are real.
Mm-hmm.
The dad bringing his 7-year-old is real. The people who met and discovered each other by listening to my music, I hear that so often. Like, you brought us together. We found each other because of you. That is real. The people who say I've saved their life by making a song that saved my life, that is real. Tour is when the simulation ends.
Mm. What's next for you?
A bigger canvas, movies,
Mm-hmm.
cinema.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What is your dream acting role?
I want to be James Bond. That'd be cool. Would they let James Bond have dreads? I don't know. But that'd be cool. And it's a dream, so let me dream it.
There you go.
Because usually James Bond has to have an English accent, and he's notoriously English. But the American James Bond is like Mission Impossible. Maybe Tom Cruise would be like, yo, let me step down and let Saint do it. Tom, let me get it, bro. You know I can handle. Come on, fam. I could jump out the plane. That ain't even like a... Look at me. I'm plane ready.
Do your own stunts too?
I do my own stunts. I would 100% do my own stunts.
Yeah?
Yeah. But he has a lot of insurance. That's the only way he does his own stunts. His insurance is out.
Have you seen that video of when he was going like on the plane? They said he did his own stunt for that, and it was literally flying.
Yeah, he's into that.
Yeah, that's crazy to me.
I would too, though. I wouldn't be terrified. I would go for it. Because I think just think about it. You become Superman for real in real life. Like, you start doing your own stunts and you survive and you become bolder and you survive and you become really bold, and then you really start thinking in your mind, you're not Tom Cruise. You're like, I'm actually Tom Cruise.
Mm-hmm. Right?
Then you're unstoppable. Now you're dancing on Oprah couch.
I like that one. That was good right there. Oh, man. No, but I can see that. Rules are meant to be broken. Can you do a British accent? If they ask you to...
Yeah, but I wouldn't know. The accents are separated by like the neighborhoods. So you really got to like spend a little bit more time. I got to be more and more and more specific because I got English friends and I got English fans, and I'm not playing myself today.
Yeah.
I'm not doing it today. But when it's time I could do English accent, the fact that they could do American accents,
crazy to me.
You won't even be knowing. You be like, yo, he from the hood in Maryland. He's not. That guy is from Peckham.
Yeah, even Maryland, like The Wire. That guy, the detective.
Idris.
Yeah, not him, but his partner from the show. The other guy. But he has
the white guy.
That guy, yeah. Full, like, American accent, but in real life, he's British.
Yeah.
I think, if I remember properly, I don't know. Yeah.
Isn't he like, is he Scottish? Is he Scottish or English? I know who you're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. He was like a dirtbag on the show, but he was a detective.
Yeah.
The little dirtbag detective. Shout out to him.
Mm-hmm. But I think it's crazy because, like, when you think about, like, how much you have to even remind yourself how to keep on an accent. You know, you get into like, even if you stub your toe, do you remain like angry in the accent, or do you like switch it up?
Well, it's a song.
Mm-hmm.
Accents and melodies. Think about it.
Mm-hmm.
It's just another type of melody. For instance, if you were listening to a dance hall song, you would sing it differently than you sang a rap song.
That's true.
The melody would be different, and the melody would inform the way that you pronounced it.
Mm-hmm.
And if you knew the whole song from top to bottom, you would perform a Drake record different than you performing a Vibes Cartel record. Your accent would naturally change.
Mm-hmm.
And the better you got at performing that song would be the more honest you got with your accent, or the more locked in. So I think they just live in the song for as long as they possibly can.
That's cool. Yeah. It's like what I always think, like if I try to like memorize a language, in my opinion, if you're able to think in that other language, then you've kind of like fluently aced the language.
Well, you got me beat. I speak English and English.
I speak English and American English. You know? Those are my two top languages.
Yeah, me too. I speak both of those.
Oh man. Well, I could. Is there anything else you wanted to talk about? I could talk to you for hours, man. It's like the camera's not even rolling. I'm just like, it's like I've zoned out and I'm in like a, you know, the good life with the motorcycles rolling off.
Nah, I'm sure I could say mad things, but we'll save it for part 3.
There we go. I love that. Well, I appreciate you as always, and you know, at the beginning I was saying it's true, man. Like I don't know if I would be still doing this if it wasn't for that original moment, and you know, it really gave me trust in self, and thank you, honestly.
Thank you for saying that. Congratulations on believing in yourself.
Appreciate that.
It's just the first step.
Mm-hmm. I'll ask you one more thing. If I asked you last time, but if you were to go back and give your younger self some advice, what would that be?
I know what I want to say. I'm just making sure I say it right.
Take your time.
Let go. Get better at letting go of the things that don't serve you much faster. Get better at the things that don't serve you much faster.
Mm-hmm.
There's no misery reward. There's no accolade for being the last one to hold on to the Titanic. Let go.
Mm-hmm. That's very important too. Well, thank you very much, and I know that we are on a time crunch, but I am always honored and grateful, and I loved the show yesterday as well.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Good time?
Yeah.
All right,
I went with my family. I brought my family yesterday.
Fire. What was your favorite moment?
My favorite moment, I think, was when you went out with Billion.
Yeah?
Yeah. I think that was really cool. I liked because, you know, it's like you started off and you played the guitar with James, right?
Jordan Hawkins.
Jordan
Yeah.
played the guitar, and that was really cool. I thought it was really funny when somebody threw the underwear on stage.
Yeah,
you're
girl
like,
threw
this
her
is an
panties.
okay spot for it.
Yeah.
You're just like, is it okay? You're like, no, I've made the choice to put that on. And then, what else was there? I like the ending part. My favorite song from you has always been the one with Lil Baby.
Trap.
Yeah. And all the plays are probably for me. So I'm going to continue doing that for the rest of my time on this earth. And I just thought it was really cool how like it ended off in Toronto, because what are the chances of that happening? So that was awesome.
Man, I couldn't design it better.
Mm-hmm. Are we going to get a Puerto Rican St. John collection?
I gotta speak Spanish.
Yeah.
Like, I can't fake it. You can't like just chat GPT it. I gotta speak Spanish because we gotta be able to discuss it in Spanish. We gotta be able to do interviews in Spanish. I really would love that. that's the next phase in the matrix, to crack the other code, because life is about language. Communication is just about language. So imagine if I could communicate with more of the world because I've learned another part of the world's language. And that means another part of the GTA map opens up for me.
Mm-hmm.
Right now the map it seems huge, but it's a limited map. So yeah, I'd love that. I'm gonna have to get even more disciplined than I've ever been. You don't often see that.
Mm-hmm.
Musicians or artists in their time, like in their present time, learn a completely new advanced skill. You don't see it. Like you don't see somebody go from I'm a singer to I'm a singer and a profound violinist, and you watched me figure out how to do it. Or I spoke one language and now I speak 3 and I'm performing in 3 and I'm mastering the performance in 3. You just don't. Most people, they lock into one thing and they get stuck there and they're trying to survive.
That's like the disease of comfort, right? Yeah.
The comfort disease. That sounds like a mattress company.
And it's just super firm. It doesn't move or anything.
Yeah.
Oh, man. And then, so we're going to have Bad Bunny on that album? Because I know you were at his show and then you were super kind of ready to work on yours. And then you're just like, all right, I'm creative. I got my creative train of thought and I got to go do this right now.
It's hard for me to be at people's shows.
Yeah?
Yeah, I can't stay for an extended amount of time because all I want to do is work.
Mm-hmm.
All I want to do is get better at my craft. Like, I go see you do something. I go, all right, cool. I got it. I got the lesson. I'm there for lessons. I'm not there for entertainment.
Mm-hmm.
I'm there to watch another master paint his process. And all I need is the information because I am still aiming to get better.
No, that's. Was there one piece that was a takeaway from that show specifically?
Learn Spanish, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wish I retained my Spanish growing up. It's like a cheat code in life, you know?
It is. It's a super cheat code. After Spanish, then they got to be like Italian. And after Italian, then they got to be like Arabic. Now, just picture me knowing all of these languages and applying whatever I already do in these languages. Imagine how unstoppable I'd be.
The world is not ready for you to do acting in different languages as well. That would be a crazy takeover.
That'd be crazy. That's crazy. I'm gonna need more than Rosetta Stone.
Mm-hmm. That's Rosetta Stone and Duolingo, both of them set up at the same time. You know, when people are like working on 2 computers at once.
Yeah, they would definitely be that. When people get like an incredible amount of money, they get super wealthy, and they don't invest in themselves. Like when you don't learn new skills, I'd be like, "What are you doing with your money, bro?
Mm-hmm.
You just bought things." Like I want to update my software. I want to learn new things.
That's the beautiful thing about life too, because like you'll never lose your education. You'll never lose what you've learned, and you can continue always doing it.
Yeah, I might have to get a Spanish tutor. Take on the road.
Yeah. Would you mess up a word and bring them on stage and be like, hold on.
Hold on un momento. ¿Cómo se dice en español? You know.
See, he was just being humble, guys. This guy's fluent already. He's already fluent.
No 1 or 2 things.
Come on. All right, brother. I appreciate you as always, and I know that you have a time crunch, and I got to respect that because we want to do a part 3 next time, and we don't want to. Yeah. And honored and grateful, and thank you for being you and being you at all times.
Appreciate you, brother. Thank you.
Absolutely. All right. God bless. Drink your water. Eat your greens. Eat your greens. What else are we forgetting?
And tip your local strippers.
There we go.